I'm Travis Rice, here to discuss the new Orca Split. This thing is an all-terrain weapon. Essentially, everything that's great about the Orca, the power fish, imbued into a split board. I think both with what we've done with Lib and also the work that we've done with Union on designing bindings that also try to fix that same conundrum of how do you make an uncompromising split board. And so, a few things with this board. We've modified the tail of the Orca. The essential geometries are the same in the tail, but we've modified the tail shape so that skin clips, bindings, some of which pop on, some of them rotate on, all of which work well with this board. Some people actually have requested that we make this tail in an Orca. Some people say that they prefer this tail. I kind of like the skate feel of the kick tail personally on the Orca, but I get it. I mean, this actually does ride switch better than the current Orca kick tail. First off, some big and actually really exciting component upgrades. These have the new Karakoram Ultra Clip 2.0 and tail locks. It's always been a problem, right? Like trying to get as tight of a seam and tight of a connection between the two split boards as possible. And it's beautiful that Karakoram has made some upgrades here. You've got these pressure fit connections, right? This thing used to be, I would say, passive, and now it's an active pressure connection. As you throw this out, it tightens the seam. Same with the adjustability on this. I mean, you feel it. You clip this Ultra Clip down, and the joining is actually really noticeable. Because it's like one of the most difficult things within having a split board feel great is how tightly bound the snowboard is together. For me personally, the active system with the new Union Expeditions pinless system, and the fact that when you put those Expeditions on and you rotate them, it's the same deal. It joins the board together so that it does not feel like a split board. That's the ultimate goal, right? Yes, compromises have to be made when you cut a split board in half, but the whole goal, and this has a lot to do with the many iterations that Lib has worked on, how do you spread the forces into a split board? Because it might be common sense, but I think it should be stated that to make the split board, you don't just make an Orca and cut it in half and inlay a sidewall and some metal edges. Like, you have to retune the flex patterns and how this board works, because inevitably when you're out there in split mode trudging around, like, you need the right type of flex pattern on your two planks. So this board has come a long way. So the Orca itself, I implore you to go check out one of these videos about the Orca, because there's far too much to say about the overall design principles and what the Orca is meant for. Check that video out and then come back and watch this video about the Split. But essentially, this is a fantastic board for its application of split boarding. And literally, whether you're out splitting like pre-season, trying to get ready for the year, conditions are crummy, or if you're splitting out to one of the best runs of your year, which is probably the case if you're split boarding. This board shape and profile, flex pattern, it's the bee's knees. It's a fantastic board that we've gotten so much incredible feedback from that we've been finding it hard to make evolutions, make upgrades to the general shape and profile, base profile of this. Base profile is C2X, right? You've got banana, rocker in between the 2 feet. You've got camber, tight camber dive to its pressure point on the tail. Front foot to nose, also camber. And then still with magnet traction, which is great for variable snow. If you find ice, this is the type of edge profile you want to be on. The goal with this board essentially was to have a very uncompromising split board. So this thing is packed with a lot of tech, centered knife cut base. This is the highest quality base that you can get. It's a beautiful board, and one thing that I've been subtly impressed with was just the connection on these boards have just gotten better and better. For those who split board you guys already know. For those who don't and are interested in trying it, the split board is just such a fantastic addition to the quiver. You know, there's so many ways to access and enjoy the mountains, and I think with a split board and the time it takes for you to go out and, you know, earn your turns, and that slowdown, that magical pace that you get, like step after step through a, you know, snowy environment, often with friends, it's really special. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend giving it a try.